The topic for this video is going to be vaccines and vaccination, all right? And in terms of vaccination, this is really an area where you as a future healthcare provider can help educate the public, because a lot of people don't understand what's happening when you vaccinate your child, all right? In terms of vaccines, the bottom line is that vaccination saves lives, all right? It's estimated that we're talking on the realm of millions of people a year are saved from lethal infections that can result in their death, all right? Vaccination, if you prevent that illness and they don't get sick, if you don't get sick, you don't die, all right? So we're talking about saving lives here. Vaccines, in large part, are very effective. There is a very small percentage of the population, and we're talking a very, very small percent. We're talking less than 1% of the population that's not going to respond to a vaccine, all right? But in terms of that, 99% or greater, really, respond to the vaccine. It activates their immune system, so their immune system is ready to fight that particular pathogen if they come across it again, all right? So vaccines save lives, they're effective, and the biggest thing that folks who are a part of the anti-vax movement are stressing is that vaccines aren't safe, all right? Vaccines are safe, all right? Now, in terms of that, is there some risk associated with vaccination? Yes, there is. Again, it's very, very small. We're talking then less than 1% of people who have a bad reaction to a vaccination. And typically, those people who have an ill effect associated with the vaccination, it's typically an allergic response that happens. Because in terms of vaccines, it's usually an allergic reaction. They're allergic to a component within the vaccine itself, not the vaccine, okay? So in terms of safety, vaccines are safe, they're helping protect our population, and they're effective, all right? And in terms of why you want to vaccinate, all right? There is a percentage of the population that can't be vaccinated. That's an A. All right. And in terms of those small percentage of people, what we're generating with vaccines is something known as herd immunity, all right? When the bulk of the population is vaccinated, the likelihood of the disease occurring in the population is extremely low, all right? If the incidence of that disease, say measles, we'll use measles as an example, all right? As long as greater than 95% of the population is vaccinated, the disease incidence is low. Which means those people who can't get vaccines, there are some children that have certain health issues that prevent them from getting vaccinated at the appropriate time, all right? There are people, like I said before, that are allergic to components within a vaccine, so those people also can't be vaccinated. We're protecting that part of the population by vaccinating everyone else, all right? And I've also got a video on this week's learning module with a doctor who's talking about why we need vaccinations and what it means to keep that herd immunity going. All right? So in terms of that, vaccinations help protect the population in general. All right? And in terms of vaccinations, what's happening? All right? At a very basic level. All right? Vaccines are going to stimulate your acquired immune response. So what happens with those vaccines? Typically, they're taking a small piece of, say, the measles virus, and they're injecting it into your body. All right? What that's going to do, that's going to stimulate your B cells to be activated. Those B cells are going to differentiate into that plasma cell. And it's going to make antibodies to that little bit of the protein that was injected. All right? Once we've got our plasma cell, now, we also generate a memory cell. And it's that memory cell that's going to act as your long-term protection. Okay? So if you encounter the measles virus again, your immune system is already primed to deal with it. You've already got defense, all right? Which means your body clears that virus before it can take hold and get you sick, all right? So in terms of vaccines, all right, we're going to go into some more detail about some differences in different types of vaccines, specifically what's going on. Bottom line, vaccinations save lives, they're effective, they're safe, okay? If you have any questions, please let me